Hello and welcome to another anime lore and theory video. I'm Shergog, your host, and today we are going to take a closer look at Solution Epsilon and what would happen if she would have accompanied Ainz Ooal instead of Naber Gamma. But before we're going to take a closer look at any of this, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, and say my thanks to all users of the YouTube thanks function for making one-time donations, and to my Patreons for choosing today's topic. And with that said, let's take a look at the topic at hand. Solution Epsilon is one of the 6 regular Pleiades battlemates. She combines 2 aspects in her character: the ability to play a highly competent assassin who can disguise and deceive well, a bit like Lupus Regina Beta, who can hide behind an unassuming and cute and sugary facade. And in Solution's case, that would be the facade of a snobbish merchant's daughter. And on the other hand, just like Lupus Regina Beta, Solution is quite cruel and sadistic. But while Lupus Regina Beta as Ainz Ooal's companion would have brought about minimal changes to the Overlord story, Solution Epsilon's contribution would have been significantly more noticeable. And similar to my Lupus Regina Beta video, let's start here by examining the repercussions on Overlord's narrative by looking at what impact Solution Epsilon's absence would have had on her own storyline. And it would depend on who replaces her. For example, if Solution Epsilon were replaced by Yuri Alpha, neither the test of loyalty nor Ainz Ooal's protection of Tuare would have ever occurred. This is due to the fact that Yuri Alpha would not condemn Sebastian's behavior or find it suspicious that he wants to help a human girl in need, given her own good karma. And she would likely involve herself more in helping Tuare than Solution Epsilon did. And when Tuare gets kidnapped by the 8 Fingers, Sebas and Yuri would essentially be on their very own, leading to potential consequences ranging from Tuare's death to Renna discovering the plan against the 8 Fingers, since neither Sebastian nor Yuri Alpha are particularly stealthy or very good at scheming. So in this case, the plan of Yuri Alpha and Sebastian and their general behavior and ambitions towards Tuare could have been brought to Ainz Ooal's attention by Renna. Now, Lupus Regina Beta taking Solution's place would also have been quite interesting. While she might heal Tuare, she would likely make her life a living hell if Sebastian isn't paying too close attention by, for example, scaring her or using her past trauma against her. Though Lupus Regina had a lot of respect for Sebastian, so this is not as likely as you might believe. And with that said, let's take a look at the main topic: how Ainz's story would have changed with Solution Epsilon as a companion. The first change would have occurred during the encounter between Britta and Momon. Just like in the normal story, Ainz would have thrown one of the adventurers who threatened him straight through the entire tavern, resulting in the shattering of Britta's potion. However, here's the problem with Solution. As I explained in one of my very first Overlord lore videos, Solution Epsilon is very adept at leading people astray in order to indulge in her own sadistic tendencies. For example, Solution Epsilon referred to Tuare's pregnancy and the 2 children within her as 2 disease, well aware that Sebastian wouldn't notice this, and would unwittingly give Solution permission to take care of the children in her very own and gluttonous way. And the same could happen here, where Ainz might grant permission for Solution Epsilon to consume Britta without even realizing it. I mean, Ainz still believes that Demiurge is running a proper farm with like proper animals, and not a happy farm. And here's why this actually matters. Without Britta, Shalltear Bloodfallen wouldn't have had the healing potion thrown into her face, and therefore Shalltear wouldn't have awakened from her own bloodlust-indulged frenzy, questioning if Ainz Ooal's plans might have been thwarted by her own behavior and the destruction of the potion, since again, the potion had been unmistakably given to Britta by Ainz. and the consequences here could have been potentially fatal. While there's a general possibility that Shalltear may later pursue Brain Anglaus or return to Sebastian and the others after calming down, and thus avoid the encounter with the Theocracy of Slain, by simply not meeting the Black Scripture at all. It could also be just as likely that both will still encounter each other, presenting a problem for Shalltear, because in the canon story timeline, Shalltear ensured that she would be made aware of the Black Scripture's presence, simply because she used low-level summons to pursue other enemies that fled from her. These summons were the same low-tier familiars she used to heal herself during the battle against Ainz Ooal, and these summons were detected and eliminated by the Black Scripture in rapid succession. In turn, Shalltear now noticed how fast and how many of these creatures were wiped out, making it clear to her that a powerful enemy was nearby. And in the literal last second between the encounter of Shalltear and the Black Scripture, just as Shalltear's mind was taken over by the world item Downfall of Castle and Country, she hit and killed Kyre, the user of the world item, with her lance, so it was a really close call. And had that not happened, the Black Scripture would have captured the strongest Floor Guardian by mind-controlling her before they left to report the entire incidents. Because remember, the Black Scripture was originally sent out to prevent the resurrection of an undead Dragonlord, and now they have encountered an undead vampire of significant power. Now this would have been a catastrophe for Nezarec, as Shalltear, from Ainz Ooal's very own perspective, would simply be gone, not be defeated or rendered inactive in the battlefield, or have been reported as betraying the Great Tomb by not responding to orders, but she would be somewhere in the Theocracy of Slain. Additionally, during the encounter between Shalltear and the Black Scripture, just like in the canon timeline, Ainz Ooal would have been busy on the graveyard of Irantel, fighting against Khajiit and Clementine, together with Solution Epsilon in this alternative timeline. In other words, he will only realize what has happened once it is far too late to intervene, and the consequences of all of this will be explored in another video. But for today, let's continue with Solution Epsilon's fight against Khajiit and the skeletal dragons. This might pose a challenge for Solution, who excels at deception and is geared towards the role of an assassin, not a brawler. While she still has more physical strength than Nabe, and higher defense, and much more agility, she would likely carry not a sword, but rather a dagger, or something similar. And this would be highly ineffective against the skeletal dragons, because of their very high resistance against piercing damage. And she also cannot simply put the dagger back into its hilt, like Naber al-Gamma does with her sword, turning it therefore into an improvised blunt weapon. Thus Solution would be occupied with evasion, and desperately needs to find a gap between the two dragons to reach Khajiit. And again, this might prove very difficult, especially since undead sense living beings through their very own life energy, meaning Solution's disguises and stealth skills could fail here. So Ainz might have to intervene if she gets cornered. Alternatively, Solution might still have found a way to bypass the two dragons and eliminate Khajiit, perhaps even before he could summon even one of the dragons, which would quickly end the fight. Otherwise, the story would likely proceed similar to the canonical plot. In the Palace of Rolente, Solution Epsilon wouldn't stand out, and since she can better conceal her emotions than for example Naber al-Gamma could, the people would have a positive impression of her. The same applies to the Swords of Darkness, albeit that Wolf, the guy who went for Nabe in the canon story, might seriously risk being consumed by Solution Epsilon, after another misunderstanding between her and Ainz Ooal. In the Empire of Bahrut, Fluda Paradane would of course be entirely unimpressed by her own magical abilities, because she has very few of them. Only her ability to use high-level scrolls would pique Fluda's interest, but it's doubtful that Ainz would waste a valuable item on such an endeavor. Still, with Ainz's presence, Fluder would still switch sides. Furthermore, it's unlikely that there would be any contempt from Scarmile Barrow towards Ainz Ooal and his team, simply because of Solution Epsilon's blonde hair and Ainz's jet black armor. That would have given their team a name like Day and Night or something similar. And Scarma's dislike of Momon originated from him being associated with the color black, something that Scarma also attempted to be. In other words, similar to the Lupus Regina beta video, Scarma would not harbor any grudges against Ainz, thus making her a potentially valuable ally should Ainz decide to visit the Arkland Council State, Platinum Dragonlord's westernmost stronghold, because she and her team fled there. That said, this is how, at least in my own opinion, the story of Overlord would change, with Solution Epsilon as Ainz Ooal's companion. What is yours? Let me know it down in the comment section. And while you type, let me quickly thank my Patreons for supporting this channel, thank them for choosing the topic of this video, and say my special thanks to Arder Daddy Arder, ASK, Bad Guy Ye, Bad Burrito 316, Beezer, Ben C, Brandon D, Chrissy, Crowley0221, Sia, Crystal Prime, Dead Slime, Death is Mercy, Deathless Dragonlord, Demon Xenomorph 1987, Devin Downen, Ding Dong, Dragonlord Plaxiduciex, Duckwagon, Dunkler Krieger, Dystopia, Dystopia II, Enigmatic Unicorn, Phil Ralshivan, Guy with That Head, Hector Moreno, Hoss, Huster, Jacob G, Jana B, Jason, J. Morris, Chromius, Kyle R, Lee K. Long, Legendarius, Lelouch Britannia Whippy Mustache, Lexus Fox, Lord Nishikian Rai, Lord Touch Me, Loverazor, Merovec, Mr. Shoes, Mr. Tweaker, Michael R, Michael Y, Nope, oh hell no, Normal Toad, Oakhill, Overlord General Gasper, Paddy Pantum, Personage, Primus 11, Rhinomere, Cune Caracos P, Shergox's Daddy, Shadow Lightning Wolf, Shrine Keeper, Sir Axolotl, Super Tier Magic Batista Bomb, Supreme Cheese, Staris, Ted, Texas Deer, The Orc Warboss, Rocket Smasher, T.E. Wang, Vash Hawkeye, Vegito27, Venture Fanatic, Wilhelm, Xenukai, and Zonegon. Thanks guys. Anyway, have a nice day, and I hope to see you all again soon under my next video.